Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Cynthia. Thank you for being here and for watching. I'm just here to do a general layout, a general collective message, what you need to know as a collective catching this reading. And the only thing I'll add to that is that for a couple weeks now, I've been kept feeling kind of pushed to put some cedar boughs here on the card table in honor of the western red cedar that grows where I live, which is abundant. It grows a lot around here, and I have one just beyond this window that I really feel fortunate that I get to look at for the duration of living here. And I got this new deck and I kept pulling a card that was saying that you're hurting someone, and I was like, gosh, what? Really concerned, like I don't want to be hurting anyone. Like whose actions, or what actions am I doing that I'm hurting someone unknowingly? And I was really reviewing, and it was that I hadn't pulled these cedar fronds yet and put them on the table to honor the western red cedar out there. So if you know, you know, when it comes to plants, if you have that kind of relationship with them, they'll surprise you at times where and how they show up. And it was saying like, hello, I've been asking to be brought into a layout here for several weeks and you keep not doing it. And I was going to do that again. I was going to prepare to do this reading without getting these cedar fronds. So just honoring the spirit of western red cedar, a very powerful protector and cleanser, and that's just barely captures the spirit of the tree. All right, so let's just do a general collective message here. I'm going to start with this deck, the Wildland Creatures deck, which is beautiful. I've wanted it for a while, and it's perfect. It's the perfect time to use it for the first time with the company of these cedar boughs here. So what are some important messages for us to know as a collective? What are some collective general messages? And before I get into reading those, I'm also going to pull some of my cards to go with it. I hope you're doing well. We're having some kind of fall weather still in our summer. It's late summer here and it's already like fall, which has been unusual. The last few years we've had really intense summers around here. It's been, I'm not going to lie, I've been kind of appreciating this cooler weather because used to be growing up here, we would only get like 1 or 2 days that approached 100 the entire summer, and that's just not been true anymore, as it is for a lot of people. We've noticed changes. So to have this week right now of cool weather is kind of nice. Oh, and welcome to Virgo season also. Another good time to start by honoring the space in here, by bringing in a little bit of the outdoors, and I'm just thanking the cedar again for wanting to be present. Okay, so the themes for this layout, what are they going to be? What are we looking at here? There's an ancestral pattern here. Look to your lineage or bloodline, and then along with that we have the hare, which to me speaks to mating and fertility and lineage and reproduction, right? The family line, along with the oak tree, which oak tree is a symbol of royalty, and the acorn and the oak, right, is a common story associated with oak as well. That within every acorn is a mighty oak, right? This involves an ancestral pattern. Look to your lineage or bloodline. Find and be with your loyal and devoted community of support. And then here we have the Cayman and Poppy with dreams. So something about this is soothing, to be with loyal and devoted community of support, and dreamlike, possibly even confusing or deceptive, maybe. I don't know though, we'll see. We'll pull more cards. And then the Possum and the Peony. Bashfulness. Do not cast your pearls before swine. So this is telling me so far that you're going through something that involves a cleansing or a purification or a healing of your, not just yourself, but your lineage or your bloodline. It's important work that you're doing, and it involves a certain level of regality. It's important work. And when we're speaking of regality with this oak energy, it's coming through to me as very stationary and wise, and growth by being in place, growth by allowing all of the metamorphosis within you to occur, right? It's a royal experience, what you're doing, in other words. It's important. And you see that and know that and are honoring that. You're also aware that this is not a time to just scatter your energy wherever, but to be with those closest to you that you know you can trust, and that are going to give back to you and fill your cup as well. I want to read her description, though, of this Cayman card with the dreams, because I feel like there was also a caution in this card as well. It's card number 20. Exceptionally quiet and still, the caiman is an alligator-like reptile that spends much of its time in a trance-like state, rousing only to snare its prey. Likewise, Poppy is closely associated with sleep. Since ancient times, the powerful sedative opium has been derived from its seeds. Together, the caiman and Poppy tell us about our dreams. A dream of yours is about to come true. Stay still, yet alert like a caiman. And at the right moment, seize your opportunity with relish. That is so beautiful. And it's going to be coming through your community in some way. A dream about your community is coming true for you. That's really exciting to hear. There's no warning there at all. It was just when I was looking at the card in reverse, I guess, was the warning with it. You're going to want to be careful, though, and not overgive, is the sense that I have. So what now? Let's go ahead and pull some tarot. There's kind of a seductive feeling here as well with the hair and these dreams card. This might be a romantic relationship. And there's a feeling of seduction present. And then along with this card being in stillness and saying do not cast your pearls before swine, and kind of being demure or holding back, that strikes me as kind of Empress energy. So allow this social experience and this opportunity to come to you. This has to do with your bloodline and your family lineage and your ancestry. You might want to watch for how this shows up and whether there's any echoes in your family history about a current circumstance or event. Got the Page of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck, so that could be speaking to that opportunity, something coming through here. It's something you, again, we're talking about, you've been working on this. There's been effort on your part to address some familial patterns and possibly even be healing your ancestral bloodline in some way, especially if you're kind of witchy or esoteric in the way that you show up in the world. This might be right up your alley. It's been a lot of hard work, but there's an end in sight, and my sense is that you know that. This reading might be confirming and supportive of you, but there's an end in sight for the work that you've been doing, and it's coming to fruition in the way that you've envisioned. which is really positive here, because here comes the World card. You're ushering in this new world for yourself. It could be, again, like we were talking about, a dream coming true of a loyal community and mutual aid-based type of love. And then here's this Six of Cups. We had the Page of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. I have a sense that there's a returning lover here that's going to show up and offer you something. And it's like a dream for you. You may have given up on this, or you may not have. You may have continued to work on yourself in hopes that at some point you would have an opportunity with this love. This wasn't intended to be a love reading, but that's what's coming out. And that's just fine. I'm delighted to do love readings. Knight of Swords. So there may be a conversation that needs to happen, or that is going to happen because it's in the facts position here. It may be a conversation that's a little bit hard to take initially. So like this person may come back around and show up, like this is saying that as a past lover may be showing up and fulfilling a dream for you, that you hoped you would have another chance with this person at some point. This is saying it's happening, but it might show up in a way that requires an effort on your part. Like it shows up in a way that's a little hard to take at first. Like maybe they show up but tell you a hard truth. Or they tell you they love you, but they're still with someone else, right? So there could be something like that happening here. I don't know, though, because here's this World card. This person's coming back around to initiate a new era or a new world. You're going to really have to be careful not to do any more work, though, than you've already done. Your work is done here. That's the tone that was already set with these cards that we did prior to the tarot layout, right? This is a dream coming true, but you've got to be very careful that you kind of remain still. Your work is done. You don't have to do anything else when it comes to this. Let this person come to you, and possibly they might have some news that's a little hard to take. I don't know. Yeah, your vulnerability has been that you haven't known exactly. So the clarity is going to come through. It might be a lot of clarity all at once, right? Like something that's kind of hard to deal with. A hard truth, but it's going to be welcome because it's been a vulnerability for you that you haven't quite felt like you had the information that you needed in this situation. This is definitely about love. This is the Ace of Cups right at the center of things. Along with this lack, you've been confused in this love scenario. But what's happening here is that you've been willing to do your work and figure out, what is this teaching me about myself? You're not so focused on the other person's behavior. You may have been at one point, but at this point you're now focused on, look, regardless of what they're doing, I need to continue to go about building my own dream, building my own reality, manifesting for myself. And what I'm sensing as we continue to pull these cards is that this is attracting this person back. This is very push-pull kind of love energy that comes with a healthy love where you are giving in equal measure, each party. Your strength is that you've been willing to go within, just like I was saying. You've been willing to do the work on yourself because even though you may have been disappointed or sad or hopeful even that this person would come back around and sorry that things didn't work before, because you've been willing to keep the focus on yourself and go within and deal with things in terms of like just looking in the mirror and doing your own shadow work, letting go of the other person's part of it because it's not ours to deal with. Any other person in any relationship, romantic or otherwise, they're responsible for them. But it's easy to have blurry boundaries with people, right? You've been willing to go within though, and because of that, there is something happening. You may be less inclined at this point because you've done all this good work. There might be a very real part of you that's like, hey, I'm so good on my own now. I don't really care whether this person comes back or not, right? Like it says up here, you've learned to be very conservative with your own energy. You don't just give indiscriminately anymore. That may have been an imbalance within yourself that you've healed through this dynamic. And you're no longer just a generous, like, let me just pour my heart towards everyone who crosses my path, right? You've started to learn discernment and not casting all of what you have to give to whoever, right? There's a very real part of you that now that this lever is going to show back up, while it has been a dream for you, there's now a real part of you that's like, hey, I'm actually fine even if they don't show up. Like, I'm already, everything I'm doing for myself is paying off, and I'm good here, right? This person is a powerful attractor for you, though. So when they show up, they're a magician. My sense is that this is a very magnetic attraction and powerful connection you've had with this person. And so even though there's this one part of you that might feel a little bit willful and like, yeah, but, you know, so am I. I'm magnetic as well, and I'm good. You are very magnetized towards this person. So let's not kid ourselves. When they come back around, they're probably going to be, you're going to be open to that. They're going to open you up because you're very drawn to them. There was a powerful attraction, like we said, and there's now clarity. You haven't had clarity as to some dynamic between you. That's been a vulnerability, but the clarity's coming. There's going to be some communication. It's coming to a completion. This previous cycle with this person is coming to a completion. So that's to me a good sign, because the Four of Wands shows me that it's coming to a completion that you've hoped for. What I'm sensing is that it's come to be a hope for the other party as well, which is really good news. That's what you want in a love dynamic, right? So like I said, I didn't necessarily intend for this to come out a love reading, but it is coming out a love reading. So it's important for someone to hear. Hopefully this message reaches you. So what about the Ace of Cups here and the Four of Wands? What are the words to this relationship and this experience? What are some clarifying words? There's been some clarity lacking on your end. You haven't known exactly what's been maybe the obstacle or the challenge between you. Or you haven't felt like you have one on your end, but you've known that the other party involved has a problem that has been in the way. That's kind of coming through, which would mean that's why you haven't had clarity. They may not have been communicative until now, and all of a sudden this communication is going to come charging in and be a lot to take in at first, especially if they've been quiet until now and you've not been in contact. I left when I saw you with someone. I hide behind material things. I love you. So this speaks to me about what happened before. There was either you were with someone else and they perceived you as not available, and then they went into a place of just being materialistic in order to cope. That could be you also with this Nine of Pentacles, but I don't think so. I think this is them, and what are some of the themes that have kept you apart were maybe some differences in values when it comes to the material world or material investment. And they may have thought that you were not available to them. They love you, though. That's the unspoken truth here, or maybe what's not been clear to you. It's very clear here that this person loves you. Okay, what else here? Maybe I'll pull a couple of these. I can feel my leg falling asleep. Try to help that wake up before I have to get up and turn the camera off. If I tried to get up right now, I think my leg would buckle underneath me. What are some good tying it together messages? It's seeming to me like there's going to be a completion to the cycle with this person, because the Knight of Cups the Knight of Swords is incoming news and information. It might be a little hard to hear at first. It might be about the clarity that's been lacking, that they do love you, but that they may be speaking to some of this, what they've perceived to be keeping you apart. Maybe they've been willing to go within as well. You've definitely been doing work on yourself. This Ten of Wands is not somebody who's been And you've got the work to show for it. You've got the confidence that you may not have had before. You're not just giving it away anymore, the kind of jewel that you are. Luck. There's really good fortune coming through here that's going to bring this to a really joyful completion. This person's going to be loyal to you. It's a dream coming true. And some kind of family pattern has been broken here, either on your end or their end or both. And at least for you, part of the lesson for you was to quit giving where it's not received, or where all that happens is that people take. Something's shifting in this dynamic where luck is coming in, news is coming in. It's the clarity that's been eluding you. So there may not even really be much negative quality to this Knight of Swords being kind of hard to take in even. It might just be like mind-blowing, kind of like the rush of clarity that has been eluding you for a long time can be a lot to take in, even when it's all positive. There's good fortune and joy coming in this relationship. This is a fated relationship. You can trust that even the negative things that have gone down before you have been to teach you something. That's what this card means in the reverse. This relationship has deeper meaning for both of you. You're spot on in suspecting that there's something worth fighting for in this connection. It's blessed. It's here. This blessed card is in the reverse, and I'm going to read it because I can't remember what this card means in the reverse. It's card 22. Humility is called for now, as grace is an unearned gift. You didn't gain this by your own desires or actions. To be who you need to be, you can no longer do what you did. In a way, you have hit rock bottom, and what is required now is nothing less than a total surrender. Then you will be blessed. Well, that's total surrender has been here really in this Ten of Wands energy. It's a saying that you've worked and worked and worked, and you recognize that you're breaking through to the other side. Let me double check on the soulmates in the reverse too, because now I'm curious. This might be speaking to something to do with the Knight of Swords quality. There might be some work to do. It's worth it, is what I'm seeing. But this may not be simple. It might come back around, and there's going to be work to do for that. But anything that's worthwhile takes effort and time and investment and work, right? An important relationship brings you to your knees. This is the kind of soulmate who comes with a powerful gift. Your patterns and all your old stories that don't serve you well enter into this dynamic so that you can heal them. This person is called to a sacred task to help you learn, even if it seems uncomfortable, sticky, or even inconceivable. The question is not, why did he or she do this to me, but rather, what is the gift in this? You will be changed for the better. So maybe something is happening here temporarily in this relationship that's going to make you think, I'm just better off on my own. And I don't like what I'm seeing, or I don't like what I'm hearing. So something is coming through about this clarity and this information. They may love you, but there's something blocking them. They may be, I don't know what that is. Let's see if maybe this can come through to help clarify some of it. It's complicated, it sounds like, with this dynamic. That might be with the Ten of Wands and the Knight of Swords. It's bringing you to your knees. You keep thinking, when is this going to end? It's important to remember this luck here too, though. What's going on? There's going to be an ending that comes with this person. It's really interesting because this is saying a dream is coming true, but there's an ending tied to it. You may be having to let something go before this is gonna, I don't know. I'm confused. What is, I know what I'll do. I'll pull. What is the ending about here? I didn't see the Seven of Wands, so it doesn't seem like it's something to do with, I don't know. Something about the relationship is really testing you at present or is about to. It's going to yield a good completion though, so it's important to know that. But something is changing about the relationship. It's just here. There's like something that's going to be hard to hear about. Let go of your timelines. So maybe what you're going to find out is that this can't happen right now. They love you, but they're not available to you right now. And take that information and use it to keep working on yourself, I guess. That's kind of what it's sounding like to me. It sounds like it's going to be kind of a mixed blessing, that somebody's going to confess their love to you or that they want to be with you, but that it can't happen right now. There might be actual distance between you, like with this journey card, you may be far away from one another physically or geographically. What else? Yeah, I think this clarity is coming in, this information and this news is coming in with this Yang card. What else? What else? What else? I want some more information about what is it? What is preventing, or what is the difficult to take news? What is the part of this news coming in that's going to be difficult? Because it sounds like this person loves you, but there's some sort of an obstacle here. It said to let go of your timeline. Be gentle with yourself. So there's a delay, possibly. And it's going to have you thinking maybe you're just going to keep to yourself and go your own way and not put any more forth here. You might be worried about that. But there's also an element to this being everything you've dreamed, so it's important maybe not to be hasty. It might be worth the wait. Even though a wait or feeling like you have to wait any longer really has you in your feelings. It really feels like a burden to think about waiting anymore. What is the problem? There it is again. There's love here. This person loves you and you love them. It's not a question of love. There's going to be work involved. This is saying it's worth it though with this Four of Wands. The work is worth it. This is a magician. This is someone you're very magnetically drawn to, and you have a past with them and you would like to have a new world with them. You've been doing the work. There's an Ace of Cups at the heart of things. It's going to involve work though. That's what I guess it's saying, is that's maybe what some of the Knight of Swords is about. Like, I want to be with you, but I don't know how because I just took a job overseas, or, you know, there's some sort of obstacle like that, right? The Seven of Wands, I just said a few minutes ago, I don't see a Seven of Wands, so it doesn't seem to be about standing your ground. Well, here it is. So it maybe is going to be having to do with this person coming back around and saying that they love you, but they're still with someone else. And you're going to have to stand your ground and say, well, I'm not going to be a third party, you know, so figure it out. Either we'll be together someday or not, but I'm not waiting and I'm not going to be with a third party, right? Or it could be something like that. That's a hard news to take in. It's a mixed bag, right? But my sense is that by standing your ground, withholding your love and not just giving it away to someone who's involved with someone else, you can potentially end up bringing this cycle to a completion where they do decide to be with you. What I'm sensing is that you've got mixed feelings about that. You might have already moved on and you've learned to be okay without this person. And so you're standing your ground, and then you'll decide if you want to be with them, right? If they leave the other party. That's what's coming through. Yep, Knight of Swords. Now it's repeating because I've kind of gotten to the bottom of this. So this person might come around, hit you up, tell you how much they love you, tell you that they're, you know, in a marriage of convenience or trapped in another circumstance, or trying to ask if there's any way you can hang with that, or, you know, can you wait for me while I sort through this messy divorce, or it could be a number of things. Take it as it applies to your situation. But what this is saying is this person's going to come around and deliver this information. There's going to be clarity. You're going to understand what has not been clear to you until this point. Like, it could be somebody that you thought might be married, but you don't really know why they ghosted or something. And now you're going to find out this person is going through a divorce and didn't tell you the truth initially and said they were single, even though they're getting divorced, right? It could look a number of ways. Regardless, this person really likes you and you liked them. That's why this is going to be hard to swallow at first. But what I'm sensing is that if you're willing to do the work and stand your ground for what you want, it's going to be worth it and going to be kind of a dream relationship. So I hope that's helpful as a collective message. Let's pull one more, I kind of want to pull another oracle card. Let's pull one more. Will this be worth the work it takes? What I sense is that there's going to be one more go around where you're like, no, I'm holding it down for what I need and what I want in a relationship, and I'm not going to be, you know, either being subjected to being a third party or a competition, or, yeah, if you want to get a hold of me once your divorce is final, great, but I'm not waiting. So if it works, it works. You know, it's that kind of thing. There's worth fighting for yourself as well and what you want here. In fact, that's what it's saying you need to do. This is the time for you to keep your own back, right? Have your own back and make sure you're standing up for the things that you want. You will get them if you do that. That's what it's saying here. You will get what you want and have a joyful completion to this cycle if you keep standing your ground with this person. Is it worth fighting with it for this? Inner peace. Oops, I pulled two here. Believe. So it's going to be hard for you to believe it because this came in the reverse. So normally I don't read reversals, but it seems important that it came in the reverse right here. It's hard for you. It's going to be hard for you to believe. So it might be tempting to settle for less is what I'm getting. But it's going to be selling out your inner peace if you settle for less. Because in the moment you might get the satisfaction of connecting and like having another physical contact with this person where you know, have something that's temporarily satisfying, but then it sells out your inner peace because it's not really what you want. Joy, if you can stand your ground, that's what you're standing for, is your own joy. So it's important to remember that. You're not just being controlling or trying to, you know, it's important for you to remember that when you're standing your ground in this dynamic, it's because you're standing your ground for your own joy and what you've learned through hard work you need in a relationship. It's okay to stand your ground for that. And this person, if they want it badly enough, they'll make it happen. You have to surrender that to them is what this is saying. So it isn't going to be quite like when they show up, it's going to be like, yeah, it's clear that they want you. It's clear that they're attracted to you. It's clear that they love you. They say it, but it's also going to be clear that there's some work still to be done. What this is saying though is that the work is worth it. So thank you for being here and for listening, and I'll see you in the next one. Ugh.